It is a very, very special edition of Moving the Chains. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Chain Gang. We have 6 people with us in the booth today. Welcome, Alex Fabert. He was a fact checker 2 episodes ago. Unreleased episode, actually. How's it feel to be on the show, Alex?
It's pretty nice, yeah. I was excited to come on the other day, but you didn't have enough mics.
Not enough mics. But hey,
yeah.
Quick shout out, though, Hanover College Communication Department for giving us all this equipment to work with. Without them, none of you guys at home would be able to watch us talk about sports, which is we know everybody loves. But today, very, very special topic. We're talking AAF.
Before we get into this, may I say 2 quick things?
You may say 3 quick things if you want.
Okay, 1, prayers out, Victor Oladipo.
Yes.
Season-ending injury. Underwent surgery last night.
Very
Hope everything went
unfortunate.
okay.
Bring on Mike Conley.
Number 2, I'm upset with Sam Smith.
Why are you upset with Sam Smith?
Because not only did he send a DM to everybody here, he told me to F off after I asked where mine was.
That's false. I didn't send it to Coach Parker.
Yep,
That's what I was going to say.
Parker, do you also feel betrayed about this?
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
There's a pre-existing
I've moved on.
group. Okay, let me clarify here. There is a pre-existing direct message group on my Instagram. It just happened to not include Tanner.
And that's fine, but you know what?
I wish I was lucky enough to be in a DM group with Tanner Hamlin.
You know what I'm excited about?
What are you excited about?
The AAF.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this.
Like before we even started researching the AAF, I didn't even know what AAF stood for, but now I do.
So tell us, what is AAF?
The AAF, the Alliance of American Football. Guys, I am extremely, extremely excited for the AAF. Do you know why? Do you know why I'm excited?
Why are you
That means
excited?
football doesn't end.
Yeah, you think Super Bowl ends football?
Oh no.
There's more
False.
football.
Football year. When I was doing my research, I came across this video, and I want you guys to take a listen to this because this video, it got me hype.
It's electric factory.
It really is.
It's called the saddest Sunday in America. The first of 6 months with no football.
No football.
For millions of fans, it means they'll stop watching sports altogether.
I love his voice.
For thousands of
I want him to read me a
players
bedtime
miss their
story.
shot. The dream of playing slips farther away. Football is like America.
America is football.
Both are built on opportunity, hard work, and innovation. As a sport and a nation, we root for the believers, the long shots, the early risers, and the never quitters, the ones who invent the future. We never know where greatness will come from, but we know it always starts with the same question. What if? What if football didn't have to end in February? What if players who missed the big show by a fraction of a second or a tenth of an inch finally got a second chance to change football forever? What if we brought football into the 21st century? What if we didn't have to say, what if? In February of 2019, some of the most respected minds in the history of the game will come together to form the Alliance of American Football.
One word. Goosebumps.
How many walls do you want to run through right now?
All
I
of
got
them.
another word.
Every wall.
all of
Every single
every
wall.
wall. You put it in front of me, I'm taking it down.
Need another pair of pants after that.
I want to cleat up.
Out there.
I wish I could cleat up and go play.
I want to say 6 or 7 months ago, I first saw on Instagram the AAF page and had literally maybe 1,000 followers.
Oh, I looked at it.
And I saw it, and I followed it and didn't think anything of it. I don't think I said anything to anyone. I don't think I was like, oh, okay, well that's kind of cool. And then it seems like all of a sudden, as I followed, I was it kept getting more and more legit. And then all of a sudden, people were like, have you heard about this? And I'm like, wait, you talk about this random ass football league I followed on Instagram 7 months ago? I was like, wait, that's legit? That's gonna be on CBS? And now it's all coming together. This is the coolest moment ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
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 And I had you guys do a little bit of research on the teams, but first I want to tell you guys about the league. Do you know who it's founded by?
No, honestly, I did zero research on the league itself. I only did on the two teams because I wanted to learn.
I did all the research on the league. Bill Polian and Charlie Ebersol are the founders of the Alliance of American Football. First game, February 9th.
Big football guy.
Literally the week after. Big football guys.
And it doesn't
Football's
stop there.
guys,
That's the
guy.
thing. It doesn't stop there. There's a lot more big football names. Director of Player Development.
Yes.
Troy Polamalu.
Yeah. You gotta
Head and
think-
shoulders.
You gotta think. Like, this isn't only good for like football fans. It's good for the football players. Those are they talked about in the video. The guys that just barely missed the cut. Like, now they have jobs. They have a playing stage on a national level that they can go out and make plays that, okay, maybe this guy's a good returner in the NFL. So that's huge for them.
That gives players another chance to get back on the field.
It also has Hines Ward, Jared Allen, and Justin Tuck all on the board. So
I'd say those are some pretty big names.
pretty big names, yeah.
But after doing this research, I think we have a legitimate chance of us getting into the AAF.
Yeah, I mean, what else are we going to talk about?
Nothing, because once
it.
Nathan.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop what you say. You don't think we have a chance?
Dude, and that's the amazing thing about this league. Like you said, guys are getting back onto the field. There are a bunch of guys that I see on the rosters in this league, and I'm like, man, I used to watch you play at the highest level on Saturdays.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's like, this
Yep.
is the real deal. Like, this is going to be good football. Not to say that we don't play good football, but these are good football players. These are dudes.
And it's not just like this league is just like another football league. This league is different. If you look at the logo, there's 3 stars on there, and the first star is for the players because this is a player, like a for the player type of league. And it says the league is also planning on player bonuses and scholarships. Player bonuses will be based on performance and fan interaction, and players would earn a year's scholarship and post-secondary education for each season of play. So like it's not just you get paid millions to play football. Like they're actually helping with your life as well. It's more than football.
It's pretty cool.
And
I think you can honestly look at almost any other professional sport, and you can say it's a business.
It's a G
They're-
League.
they are-
Oh, yeah.
It's a
If
G
you want to
League.
think about it, this is a G League. But the best part is that it's not a farm system.
Yeah.
Like you would say the G League is.
Yeah.
It really is.
It
different
highlights
because-
the player's talents.
Yes, it really puts guys out there. There's just you look at guys like Bill Polian, and they love football. They want to see good football being played. They want to give guys another chance. It's not all about the money. It's not. I can tell you, those guys don't need money.
No.
They're good. It's
always
not,
cool to
it's
have
not
it,
all
though.
about. I mean, yeah, it's great to have money.
And we mentioned that this is like sort of like a G League for players, and the AAF recognizes that. I mean, they give players they give players a 3-year non-guaranteed contract worth $250,000 plus health insurance and an escape clause to go to the NFL. So like, if people want to transition, they can. They can use the AAF as a transition to get to the NFL. It's not like they have to stay here and play for them. Like you sign your life away. No, that's not how it is. Like they want you to succeed. They want you to move up and like be better football players.
$250,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a lot for being a professional athlete. Excuse me.
Sounds
But
like a lot to me.
you can definitely live off that for sure.
For most of those guys coming
People live
from
off less than
poverty-
$250,000.
Yeah.
To get back to the point of guys being able to leave, did you know there's already been a player leave to go to the NFL?
I
From
saw
the
that
AAF?
today. Saw that today.
Who?
We'll get to it when we get to my team breakdown.
Oh, you're teasing me.
Oh.
You're teasing me.
You gotta
I
hang on
want
to
to
the
know.
A little foreshadowing here.
Yep.
Now, I also did a little bit of research on the rules.
Some good rules in here.
Guys, I'm excited for the AAF. So it says that teams will only have 50 players on each roster selected by a territorial draft. So
Which is
basically-
pretty cool. That's really cool. The NBA used to do that, actually. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Let's see. Telecast will feature no television timeouts, 60% fewer commercials, with the league aiming for an approximate real-time game length of 150 minutes, down from just over 180 in the NFL.
That takes away a lot of money. I will say that. I
But-
bet that rule changes.
I don't think so, because like you hear talks around not just the NFL but also like the MLB about the game being too long and people getting bored and people just like tuning out. they want to get the game in. They want the players to play and get on the field, get off the field.
Yeah,
They're giving the fans, and even the fans at home, no commercials. You got me. I
Yeah.
hate commercials.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing. But I bet in a few years, that'll change.
Well, you have
Well,
to
they
look
got-
too. They have a contract with CBS, so it's not going to be about them as much as it is, working out that deal with. Will CBS continue? Will they be able to continue this deal with CBS without running commercials?
Well, that also, the NFL's working towards less commercials too. They have those like in-game commercials where the
You can
teams
still
have
see.
like a break.
A little side by
Or,
side.
yeah, a little side-by-side action. Like
Still, I don't
calling
wanna
the
watch
play.
A little side-by-side action.
Yeah,
I love the way you just said that.
Watch that.
Side-by-side.
You got to think that flag football league that started last year, how huge that got near the end. I mean, if this product is it, like, you have to think this could really make some damage in the spring. Just
Absolutely.
It has potential,
There's
man. It has
There's
potential.
no Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you got
Next
players.
week,
There's
you
no
got a
postseason
game.
depression.
It's not like they're bad players either. Like we've talked about it, and we'll talk about it later with the teams. They're good players in this league. It's not going to be a downgrade of NFL football.
also
That's-
shows you how good the NFL is.
absolutely.
But speaking of players, I want to go back. You said how the players got there. Did you look into the way they got their quarterbacks? You got that
Yes,
on
I
there?
saw
Okay, we
that.
getting there? Okay, good. Just want to
The
make sure you got
quarterback
that.
draft,
Yeah.
the protector pick. That was actually in
Genius.
November. Yeah.
It's genius. It's so awesome.
Do you want to touch on it real quick?
Huh?
Do you want to touch on it?
Yeah. I actually watched it. It was really, really like, it was kind of like, they streamed it online, and it was kind of like just the NFL draft, but on steroids, because it's like you have guys on your team because they got their quarterbacks based geographically. And they went through random order, and you got to either protect, you got to take one quarterback on your roster that's in your geographic location and say, I want to keep him on my team, or you got to pick one from another. So everybody got the choice to protect their quarterback.
Okay.
And then if they didn't protect one, then you could steal a quarterback from another team.
It was like a white elephant Christmas.
Yes, it is. It's like a white elephant for your team's quarterback. It's awesome.
I bet people
Nice.
are freaking out.
Oh, imagine you're on San Antonio for 5 minutes, and then boom, you're in Orlando.
Yeah,
You don't know where you're gonna be.
Both pretty cool cities.
I'd rather be there than stuck in Indiana where I'm cold all the time.
That's big
cold
facts.
inside, cold outside, cold wherever I am. All right, here's another rule that I'm actually really excited for. All teams must attempt 2-point conversions after each touchdown, and there will be no extra point kicks.
Electric factory right there. It's
That
gonna be
can
so-
change how the game's played. That can change the outcome like exponentially.
Because you also have to think as well, like, those, like, extra points for those kickers, like, mean a lot. Like, you got to think, if it's, like, a high-scoring game, and they're kicking a lot, and it comes out to, like, a final second field goal for the win,
Oh yeah.
your kicker's just been on the sideline, other than maybe kicking it off.
As a special teams coordinator, not a huge fan, but I'm interested to see where it goes.
I think the NFL's going this way too.
You think the NFL is going to be a
I think
2-point
they're-
conversion only?
No,
I think
not only ever. They'll keep the extra point, but I think you'll see more teams go towards 2-point.
I mean, don't they have like a better percentage of scoring when they kick a 2-point conversion? I'm not kick it, like go for 2. Is it something like that instead of like kicking the extra point?
I know since they implemented the longer PAT, the percentage of teams getting 2-point conversions have increased. I'm just not sure the exact amount.
So are there even kickers on
Yes,
these
there
teams?
There
are
is,
kickers,
yes.
yeah.
That they're
Big
only
kickers.
going to be kicking field goals because, leading into the next rule, there will be no kickoffs. There will be no kickoffs. In halves, odd time periods, and after scores will begin on each team's own 25-yard line, the same as touchbacks in the NFL and the NCAA.
Which isn't a huge change because a lot of kickers are just getting it through the end zone.
Yeah.
What are they doing about the onside kick then?
Great question, Alex Fabert. In lieu of an onside kick, a team can keep possession of the ball by attempting a scrimmage play from their own 35-yard line and gaining at least 10 yards.
Wow.
That's big time. That's interesting.
I don't know if I like that rule.
You're a DB.
Well,
I know you don't like that rule because you're gonna get
You're gonna get burned.
picked on.
Ooh.
That's big, man.
If you're that team though that's going for the onside kick, air quotes around that, do you take a shot or do you just run the ball and feel like you can get 10 off of that? How the strategy into that?
When in doubt, you know what you have to do?
Can you score on it?
I don't know. Like this,
That's
it
a
just
good
And that's
says.
the thing. Do you
That's
take
a
over? Do
question.
you take over first down where that play
I
ends?
think if you get the first down, like you have one chance to get 10 yards. And if you don't get it, then you don't get the ball back. But if you do, then you get the ball back after you scored.
So you got to
So-
move the chains.
First down.
Nice.
Do my dance.
clever.
So if you just took a shot deep
And you don't convert,
and you score, what? How does that?
that's a touch.
That's a
I
question.
think that's a touchdown.
I mean, I'd give it a touchdown.
Yeah. Like,
Just did all that work.
I agree.
I guess we're gonna see.
I guess come
We're gonna
February
find out in
9th.
2 weeks, baby.
All right, let's see. Here's another one. The play clock will only run 30 seconds, 10 seconds shorter than the NFL.
I like it.
That's. I mean, that goes with
Speed up the game.
speeding up the game and
You know
cutting
what
it
this
to.
means? Points.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Points,
point
points.
rule. Right
I think
there.
I really do think with the type of guys that we have and the coaches and the guys that are going to be there, I really do think that the way football is played in this league is going to be modeled a little bit more like college. I think we're going to see a lot more up tempo. I think we're going to see a lot more of those spread styles. A lot of no tight ends, one running back. Stuff like that. I think it's really going to kind of mirror the college game more than it will the pro game. I'll be excited to see, because obviously every team out of the league, the college spread systems have made their way in the NFL, and vice versa. There's teams out there like Iowa that still go under center with a fullback. So I'm going to be anxious to see, really what type of football is going to be played here. But like I said, I think it's going to mirror more college.
And on top of that, as well, it's going to be just as competitive. Because I know the argument between the NCAA and the NFL is the NFL is not as competitive. They don't care. They get paid. Well, these guys are still getting paid, but you also got to think they're competing and busting their butts off every down. Not saying that NFL players don't do that, but
Depends on the player.
they have something to prove. They're trying to get to that next level.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they would, you're going to get some more film as a player, and maybe you'll get to the league for a contract that's 3 years or so. So I feel like they might even play a little bit harder than the NFL guys, maybe.
Hey, it's the only way to figure
I
out.
mean, I'm pretty excited about it. How can I watch?
Let me get to that. Let me finish these rules. I'm gonna tell you
I'm
exactly
excited.
how you can
I'm
watch this
excited.
game.
How can I watch?
I mean, just like the NFL, there's gonna be 2 coaches challenges per team. On the only replays, no challenges in the last 2 minutes. This one I actually found very interesting. Outside organizations will handle head safety protocols. So like if you get drilled in the head, a referee can't tell you to get off the field and go get your head checked. That's totally up to the team to do that. I mean, so if you want to play with a bust up head,
I feel
you stay
like,
out there.
Again, we'll see how long that
I
lasts.
don't
Yep.
think you say outside organization, right?
I feel like that means like different like.
You think like a third party kind of
I
thing?
think they're going to be there spotting. for
Exactly.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like
You
they
think
do in
they'll
the
have
NFL.
like
that.
a
Yes, they'll be
A
there.
head program?
Yes.
I still think if a referee feels that somebody is,
Yeah.
because when you look at this league, their big thing is safety, no
Yeah.
kickoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
Reading about it, it's a big deal. Safety in this league's a big deal. So I think they'll definitely have spotters there for concussions.
And then the last rule, which we talk about how it's kind of based like college, the playoffs will consist of 4 teams, the 2 teams from each the top 2 teams from each conference. So that'll be good to watch.
We'll have to see after this first year, but I feel like you said, the 4 teams, right? Yeah, obviously it would have to be 4 teams. I feel like after this first year, if all 4, like 8 teams are just as competitive as each other, I'd be cool if they opened the playoffs with 8 teams. I mean, I feel like an 18 playoff's not too much.
Well, there's
What if you go 8 teams and don't split it up?
just do the top.
Just straight
It's top
So
records.
Just straight standings?
1 through 8, 1 plays 8, so on.
I like that.
That'd be interesting.
That would be.
I like that a lot better than 4 teams. The 4-team playoff, like, I'm not a big fan of 4-team playoffs. I want just
Big question here. How's betting going to work for this?
I had something written down here for betting. Actually, let's see. Okay, yes, right here. Some of the investors in the AAF include Peter Thiel, Founder Fund, the Churning Group, which is owned by Barstool Sports, fun fact, Jared Allen, Slow Ventures, Adrian Fenty, Charles King M Ventures, and Keith Rabois. MGM Resorts International made investment in the AAF tech platform and entered a 3-year sponsorship agreement to become the league's official sports betting sponsor and exclusive gaming partner. The deal marks the first time any sports organization has sold exclusive in-game betting rights to a sportsbook.
Really, I may have to start being a gambler.
that'll be kind of fun to see how these lines show up.
Yeah.
When
You have no
you
idea.
haven't seen some of
Yeah.
these guys play. And here's the thing: is going into game one, you look at some of these rosters, you may not know who the starting quarterback is on the team because you haven't seen X player play in 5 years. Oh, he was good in college, but you don't know what he's doing now. There could be a guy who really learned how to play football since he graduated. So you don't know who these guys are now. You really don't. So it's going to be really interesting.
And
to see
that's
what
my
kind of lines
biggest-
we have week one.
Yeah, that like kind of like is gonna throw me off as well because I mean I think I'm gonna gamble on this. You know why not?
Oh, well,
it'd be fun.
It sounds like so much
Yeah,
fun.
but the thing about me is like not being like a huge like I don't want to say fan, but like someone who like religiously watches college football. I didn't recognize a lot of the names on the two teams I researched. We'll get to that later, obviously. But so that's going to kind of throw me off. But at the same time, you know, I'm still into it.
Oh, I had some serious nostalgia, man.
So I 100%
I saw some
did.
names.
Absolutely.
I saw some names, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
We'll get to it.
So
but
Parker,
yes.
what was your question again?
How do I watch?
How do you watch the A? That is a fantastic question. Well, the AAF announced broadcast deals with CBS Sports. The inaugural game and the championship game will both air on CBS Sports, while CBS Sports Network will air at least one game per week. And then local stations are actually expected to pick up other games for broadcast. Announcers from the NFL on CBS will call all of the AAF's contests. Do you know who's an announcer on CBS?
Who?
Tony Romo.
No
Tony
way.
freaking Romo.
We get more Tony Romo.
More
Parker.
Tony Romo time. And
Parker's
then
a
I know
big-
Parker's
and then-
excited.
Parker's a big
Coach
fan.
Parker's excited.
one more thing. The league's mobile app will offer live streaming of all games as well as provided integrated fantasy games.
Is that free?
For free?
Yeah.
We should do. All right.
More fantasy football.
We can't put money on it.
No, we cannot put
No.
money on it. But you know what we could do? We can make person who's last just do something stupid. No money. They just lost.
Do
Is
the
that
chat-
all right?
do
Is
the,
that all right?
uh,
Big
As
time.
NCAA people,
As a representative of the NCAA, Parker, what do you have to say?
we can look into it. We can look into it.
Not a representative. But
I mean, you're a coach.
A
and-
member.
A member. A member. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
That's I guess more an appropriate term.
there's no money involved.
Okay, so
Fair
I
game.
say,
Let's go.
It's what we're in.
All right.
So Sunday, while we're watching the Pro Bowl, we'll do a draft.
Okay. Yep.
I like it.
All right, Jake.
All right,
I'm
so-
gonna be honest. I'm excited. Can we get to these teams, man?
Can we
I'm
get to the
getting
teams?
Excited.
All right, so
I'm
there-
getting excited.
Dude, I'm excited about
I
the
want to
fantasy
hear
league.
about them. Tell me about your
There are
teams, man.
8 teams in the AAF divided between an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference. East and West. All right, so I'm gonna list down the names, and then you're gonna start with your respective teams I gave you guys to research. All right. So in the Eastern Conference, you got the Atlanta Legends. They'll be coming out of Georgia, playing in the Georgia State Stadium. You get the Birmingham Iron from Birmingham, Alabama, of course, playing at Legion Field. You get the Memphis Express, obviously out of Memphis, Tennessee, playing at the Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. And to round off the Eastern Conference, you got the Orlando Apollos in Orlando, Florida, playing in the Spectrum Stadium. To start off your Western Conference, you got the Arizona Hotshots coming out of Tempe, Arizona, playing at the Sun Devil Stadium. You got the Salt Lake Stallions playing in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the Rice Eccles Stadium. You got the San Antonio Commanders out of San Antonio, Texas, playing at the Alamo Dome. Oh, that was a real mouth twister.
Remember the
Tough
Alamo?
words.
Remember the Alamo?
Tough words.
Tough words. And to round out the Western Conference, you got San Diego Fleet playing out of San Diego, California at the SDCCU Stadium. All right, let's go first.
I can go first. Sure.
Tell me about your team. Tell me about your team.
So first team I'm going to do, I have the Atlanta Legends. So my favorite fun fact of this, you know what, I should probably say that for last. So their head coach is Kevin Coyle, I believe I'm saying his last name right. And Sam, I'm going to give you a little pop quiz here.
All right.
You know who Kevin Coyle used to coach for?
Please inform me.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
I knew that.
He was. He's a
Sure,
defensive.
yeah, of course.
He was a defensive back coach. Kind of from looking up. I mean, he's really defensive minded. He's been a lot of defensive coordinators, a lot of defensive back coaches around different areas. So, kind of excited to see that. Number 2, their quarterback. It's somebody I watched in college, and I really don't watch a lot of people. It is Aaron Murray. Aaron Murray, quarterback from Georgia.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then finally their offensive coordinator. Couldn't find this online. I could only find it in a news article. Can someone tell me? I'll give you a hint. It's the greatest player of Madden of all time.
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. Michael Vick.
Frickin' Vick.
Offensive coordinator. He's gonna be calling the shots.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
Oh,
I'm interested.
Can I
to
say
see
that? Can I
Too
say
soon,
he's a
too
dog?
soon.
Oh, I am too.
Hey, fun fact. Do you know who one of their running backs is?
Tell me.
Denard
Robinson.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Denard
I am really
Really?
excited. I think with Michael Vick as an offensive coordinator, this team is going to be explosive. Oh yes, sir. Yes,
Nice.
sir. I mean, you have Aaron Murray back there slinging it, old Georgia boy,
Slinging it.
And then Denard Robinson, I think, is a guy who was really explosive. He just kind of got a weird hand, change of positions, and then I think kind of my player to watch for on that team there is James Quick, Louisville alum, guy from Trinity.
Okay.
Very, very explosive football player.
So I can give you a quick just big name list of colleges. So obviously like we said, they do the kind of territorial draft. So you have Clemson, Georgia, Louisville, North Carolina, Virginia, and West Georgia. And then kind of the NFL teams they picked off of, the Falcons, the Panthers, Jaguars, Redskins, and then the Canadian Football League is the Agronauts.
Yep.
Just thought I'd throw that out there. Those are kind of the teams and colleges they picked and chose from. I'm excited. Do you want me to go for my number 2?
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
All right, my number 2, this is going to be the Arizona Hotshots. So the Arizona Hotshots, I legitimately, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, I didn't recognize a lot of names.
Yeah, I think that was one of the teams that I clicked on just when I was doing my preliminary research. I didn't know anybody.
Head coach, the only thing I could find is Rick Neilhiesel? I don't know. Rhymes with diesel. Well, they may be the best team in Arizona.
Ooh. Wow. Shot at the
I think
Cardinals.
you could get a Super Bowl versus AAF champion game.
Like the winner of the Super Bowl play the winner of the
Yeah.
AAF.
I don't think it'd be close.
Little merger?
It wouldn't be close.
That'd be like Alabama playing the Browns. Let's be something like that.
Yeah.
I was
Two different
As
things.
in Alabama beating the Browns.
You think Alabama?
Stop.
No,
we're not getting
We're
not getting it.
Another episode, another
I was
episode.
kidding.
That's
But
horrible.
when I looked into this Arizona team, really the only name I honestly recognized was Gerald Christian.
Trevor Knight.
Trevor Knight.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Trevor Knight. Yeah, I did recognize. But Gerald Christian was really, I think kind of the one that stood out to me. Real big tight end with the Louisville. He's got good hands, but I don't think he's played football in about 6 years like a lot of the other guys. So we'll see.
And I do want to say this again. Like I said, I didn't recognize any names, but I also don't watch a lot of college football. Picked up a little more this year, but I mean, this year's a little late coming into this league. So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Will Sutton's playing D-line for them, a third-round pick from the Bears. So I mean, you got to think that's a pretty top-tier talent for them. So,
Yeah.
So
All right. Is that all? That's all you got for me?
That's all I got for you.
Let's see. Let's go next.
I can take it.
All right, go ahead, favorite.
All right, I'll
Newbie.
start with the Salt Lake Stallions, as
Good
Lauren
name.
said. Yeah, I like the name. It's
The
pretty
name
good.
gets me, man.
The,
There's some very creative names for the AAF.
There are. But as you said, Salt Lake City, Utah, their head coach, Dennis Erickson.
okay.
If anybody knows who that is, SMU's head coach when they went under. Great for 30 for 30. Good one.
What if I told you?
Yeah. And so, not really a whole lot on their staff that I know of, but they got some good players. I didn't really notice a whole lot of names, but Matt Asiata, one of their running backs. So that was pretty interesting, but
Arguably one of the biggest names in the league.
yeah, I would
player
say.
wise.
I would say.
Took a lot of starting snaps there with the Vikings.
Yeah. So this one, I feel like they're tough team to peg. They're
I think I tell you one name on there that I love and I'm excited to see play football again is Kenny Bell.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Man, he was fun to watch in Nebraska. Played with Taylor Martinez. Oh man, that offense was fun to watch. But Kenny Bell, he's about 6'3", big, athletic, got great hands. But it'll be fun to see him play football again. Feeling like I'm kind of repetitive, but it's a lot of these guys. Like I said, I get this nostalgia. Watching this guy play football when I was in middle school and high school. On Saturdays with Nebraska. Him and Taylor Martinez hooked up for a lot of good touchdowns. It was fun to watch. So
Dennis Erickson is a 2-time national champion.
yes, he is.
What school?
SMU not with SMU.
Nope.
Which one?
Both with the U.
Oh, yep, that's
Sure.
right. That's right.
Another good 30 for 30.
The
What if I told you?
the thing about Salt Lake, the Stallions is that they're the only team north of the 35th parallel north. So that's the only team in the north area. So maybe an advantage when it comes to weather.
Maybe early in the season.
Altitude.
Yeah, early in the season though.
Early in
That
the
could
season,
really affect some
altitude,
bettings.
too.
Also, cool combination of jersey colors for this team.
The
Oh,
helmet.
yeah.
The helmet's pretty nice
Yeah.
too.
I mean, the jerseys all around are really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can talk about that later, but
Okay.
jerseys
Oh, yeah.
for this league pretty solid.
Yeah. So colleges, kind of like what Tanner did. A little rundown: Air Force, Arkansas, BYU, Boise State, Cal, Colorado State, Idaho. Got some from Oregon, the Canadian Football League, Calgary Stampeders, and then Green Bay, Denver, Minnesota, Seattle.
I think
So,
you're looking at a pretty weak region.
Yeah.
And like when you're
It's-
when
that's what
talking
I'm
from those
saying.
teams, like that's a pretty. I think
Yeah.
this could be a team that's really a bottom dweller.
Yeah,
in this league,
that's what I was thinking.
So you wouldn't bet on this
Tough to
team?
say.
I would
They're
not
the-
bet on this team.
They're the Arizona Cardinals of the
Yeah.
AAF.
I would. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Can't say the Browns anymore because the
In
Browns are actually pretty good.
contrary, the other team that I would put a lot of money on is the Orlando Apollos, my other team. And I'm pledging my allegiance to this team.
Huge
They're
Apollo
gonna
fan,
be my
right?
team.
Huge Apollo fan.
So obviously based in Orlando, and they're playing at Spectrum Stadium, which, if you know, is home to the 2008 or 17 national champs UCF
Do you know?
claim.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Did
So
you know that?
Did you know that?
There-
Did you know that?
their staff's pretty interesting. Their head coach is Steve Spurrier.
Who's that? I've never heard of that guy before.
Steve
The
who?
head ball coach,
The
baby.
head ball
Who's
coach.
Steve?
Yeah, the head ball coach.
Hi,
Also, I
Steve.
heard that Heinz Ward was helping out with receivers on this team, so that might be interesting.
They're all going to smile every play.
Yes, they are. And this team, I feel like, is, hot take here, gonna win the AAF. I think so. They've got a great region to pick from. You got Miami, Tampa Bay.
The
You're gonna
hotbed
go
of
with-
Florida.
Yeah,
The hotbed of
the hotbed of Florida. Florida Atlantic, Florida State, Jacksonville, Miami, South Florida, UCF. Like, they got some pretty.
And fun fact, showing a little D3 love.
Yeah.
Heidelberg.
Yes, Heidelberg.
Heidelberg is on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow,
Dante
really?
Dante Dye Jr. is a
Yep.
receiver from Heidelberg.
That's
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
Big names playing quarterback Stephen Morris and Austin Appleby. Stephen Morris was quarterback at Miami just a few years ago,
I remember him.
and signed with Jacksonville for a little bit.
Garrett Gilbert's also on that QB depth chart.
Yes.
Good quarterback
Yeah.
from Texas and everything. So.
Yep.
Yep. I think my two players to watch on this team are Jalen Marshall. You know, being a Buckeye guy, had a lot of fun watching him. You know, scored some big time touchdowns there for the Buckeyes, and then good old Trill Will Hill,
I was gonna say the same
dynamic
thing.
DB
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Trill Will Hill
Yes.
from Florida.
Over 200 tackles in the NFL,
Yes.
four total interceptions, and I think 3 touchdowns or
Yeah.
something. Dynamic in the NFL.
Man, I tell you what,
Yes.
and it's. I guess it's just one of those things where you lose track because you see so many guys play. I don't remember him really falling off. I remember, you know, he was a ball hawk. He terrorized defenses in the terrorized offenses in the SEC. I guess I just never realized he wasn't with the team in the NFL anymore. But now we get a chance to see him.
I'll tell
Also-
you one. Go ahead.
Akeem Hunt, running back.
Oh, yeah.
He played at Houston, Kansas City in his later career.
Mm-hmm.
He was a name that I remember watching a couple years ago, at least, I think.
I'll tell you, the one thing I am worried about is their GM, Tim Ruskell.
Why is
From-
that?
So
We're already having GM issues. The game hasn't even played yet.
no, but realistically though, he took over Seattle the year they went to the Super Bowl and lost to Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
So like obviously he started on a really high note, and then his next 4 years they weren't above 500. So you got to think.
true.
I don't know how I feel about him building the team, but he is in the hotbed of Florida. So if he can't build a team there, then he probably can't build a team.
Plus, you got the head ball coach,
Hey, Faber, who'd you say the running back was again?
Akeem Hunt.
I thought you said Kareem Hunt. I was like,
Nah.
wow, he got picked up quick.
Speaking of him, though, 3 teams are interested in him in the NFL.
Did hear that.
Who?
I don't know.
The Colts?
No, not the Colts.
Yeah. No need.
Pretty sure the Cowboys were interested.
Well, he should probably just go to the AAF.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah,
I know.
if you can't get in there, go
Big
to,
character
go to the
team
AAF.
over there.
But
America's character team.
He'll fit right in with Zeke.
back to the AAF, the important one.
Yeah, the best league in the
best
off.
league. So
Best free
check
football
out
league around.
just wait till the first week. You see the Apollo's helmets, pretty sweet. They're navy blue, orange face mask, and they got Apollo, the Greek god, shooting an arrow in the back. Pretty sweet. Gonna be some pretty cool color.
And that's your
combos.
favorite team?
It's my team.
I'm going with the Atlanta Legends so far.
You're a Legends fan?
I'm a Legends fan.
I'm going with Apollo.
You got anything else for me, man?
That was it.
All right, who's next?
Parker, you want it?
I'll go, you know? Let's go a little West Coast action here.
Chill.
San Diego. The Sweet.
San Diego.
French for
They play in the SDCCU Stadium, home of San Diego State. Also, the Holiday Bowl. Fun fact for you. Their head coach is Mike Martz,
Ooh.
Super Bowl champion.
With who?
The
Da-da-da-da.
Rams.
Ching.
What was he coaching?
Offensive coordinator.
Ooh.
And he was the head coach.
Okay.
He was the head coach too for
He was
For a while-
after,
for a while.
After, yep.
until about 2005.
Okay.
So you have them. A little bit about them. Like I said earlier, they had a quarterback that they drafted first overall in the whole league. Is now a backup with the Washington Redskins, Josh Johnson.
He was going to go to the AAF, and
He was the first pick of the league and now is the backup for Sanchez at the end of the season.
That's tough for the fleet.
How do you
Tough
get,
for the fleet.
how do you feel about
Tough.
Johnson being a
But
backup
hold
for
on.
Sanchez?
So I wonder if it was just like they signed him mid-season, right?
Yes.
I wonder if he's like, hey, I just got signed by this NFL team. And it's just to the end of the year. Can I go play with them and then come back? Wonder if that's.
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, they have a clause for going to the NFL, but do you think they have a clause for coming back to the AAF? I don't
Maybe.
see why
It might
not.
be an NFL rule.
Yeah, you could be right
So-
on that one.
That is a heartbreaker for their quarterback situation when your number one pick goes to the NFL.
But good for him. They're a league for the team. I mean,
Here's
for the player.
another issue they've already ran into. John Kitna was supposed to be their offensive
I was
coordinator.
gonna say, yep.
Gone.
Cowboys quarterbacks coach.
Fleet are gonna have a down year.
They had too good of talent.
They have a good area though. You know, the West Coast.
Sure.
You know,
Hot bed.
you get Hawaii, San Diego State, Stanford, USC, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one little random: Arkansas.
They've actually got some good Midwest ties though. Two names that stood out to me were Marcus Ball, tight end from Ohio State.
Okay.
And then
Big
as
Ohio
well as
State guy.
Galen Robinson. So Galen Robinson is actually the son to Glenn Robinson.
Oh wow.
Former
Did not know
Pacers
that.
player, brother to Glenn Robinson III. I wrestled Galen in high school.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you beat him?
No, it was a scary experience. I was a freshman. And he was a senior, and he was the 220 state champ. And we were at a dual tournament, and he wrestled up in heavyweight in dual meets. And wow, I was scared. And he went on to play at Purdue. He was a lot of fun to watch. It'll be anxious to see how he competes with you guys on this level. But a little fun fact for you.
Would you
there.
wrestle him again?
No, not by choice though.
Only like a life and death situation. Trying to get out of it.
If you want to live, go wrestle that man.
One thing I found interesting with the NFL teams, they have rights to, obviously, LA Chargers, Rams, Oakland Raiders, soon to be Vegas Raiders, but also the Detroit Lions.
Really?
That's interesting.
The
That is.
CFL team, the BC Lions. So you have Josh Johnson gone, but you have Mike Bercovici,
Better
Who?
undrafted free agent for the Chargers. He was actually on the Arizona Hotshots in 2018
Okay.
and is now a part of the San Diego Fleet.
Is there a quick trade or what?
Not sure. Another guy on there that I saw was Bishop Sankey, played for the
Yeah,
Titans.
absolutely. Good
You know,
running back.
good running back.
Yep.
Other than that, it's going to be a tough year for the Fleet.
Fun fact, my first fantasy football team, I had Bishop Sankey, and we were do the Sankey leg. That was probably my favorite fantasy
That is
football
a
team.
Hey,
great.
you know what you can do?
So far.
You could. I mean, you
You
can
do it
still.
again?
You can. Yeah, you can still
I
have
can
the fantasy
do, I
AAF.
can do the Sankey leg once again.
Dude, I am definitely down. I'm excited about the league. I think I'm more excited about the fantasy football.
More
league.
fantasy football.
Yeah, like fantasy
Yes.
football won't end.
No, it won't.
And maybe those players care about fantasy football since they're not,
Hey.
they're not
What's-
named
what's-
into the NFL.
All right,
Juju,
we-
Juju cares about fantasy.
Well, yeah, Juju
Yeah.
does.
He
Did you
apologized.
stretch before this reach?
Ooh.
Ooh, wow.
All right, Parker.
Also,
What's your other
like
one?
the Fleet uniforms, they're pretty sweet.
We could just agree the uniforms are
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all the uniforms are pretty sweet that I've been seeing.
Next team up is the San Antonio Commanders.
That's my team.
My team.
My team.
My team.
My team.
They play at the Alamo Dome right now.
That's how you say it?
The Alamo Dome?
He must have forgot the Alamo.
You
Alamo.
forgot the Alamo.
Yeah, he forgot the Alamo.
I guess if I
That's
just
home of
break
the
it down.
UTSA Roadrunners. For you Roadrunner fans out there,
Sure.
thanks for listening. Their head coach is Mike Riley, best known for his time at Nebraska. Their staff, didn't recognize a lot of names there. But, moving on, colleges, you're in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got the
Hot
Texas schools.
Bed.
Baylor, Houston, SMU, TCU, Texas, you name it. Obviously, the NFL team, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Don't know how he got over there, but it happened.
The CFL, Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Saskatchewan.
The name that popped up,
Saskatchewan.
I mean, there were a few.
DeMarcus Ayers,
Mm-hmm.
wide receiver.
A local from the Indianapolis area, Chase Dutra. Played at IU.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Little represent.
Yeah.
What's he play?
Sounds like a
DB.
receiver. Oh,
Okay.
DB.
Another name, Greg Ward Jr.
Yes.
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 at
Love him.
wide receiver.
One of the big reasons that this is my team. I tell you the other reasons. Their quarterback is probably going to be Logan Woodside. Logan Woodside was actually a draft pick from the Bengals this past year. When I saw him, I started doing some research on him. Dude's a baller. He has a few records now at Toledo. He was cut from the Bengals for his second DUI before he even got to training.
So he likes to
camp.
party. Okay.
Yeah.
that's good.
So he gets cut from the Bengals before he even gets to training camp with a DUI.
That's not frowned upon in Texas.
No,
Especially by Baylor.
Yeah, but
Wow.
but the real reason this is my team, McKeel McKay and Nick Temple, two Cincinnati grads, two dudes I loved watching up when I was younger.
I just
They're
picked
gonna
this
be
team because
dogs.
of the name.
Count
The name's
on it.
really cool.
Yeah.
The Commanders.
Well, I picked them because they're gonna win football games. All right.
I'm down for that too.
All right. So you're a bandwagon already. That's crazy.
huge
Chill
Commanders
with the
team.
slander. Again, big fan of these
All right, what
uniforms
you
as
got?
well.
What else you got, Parker?
That's it.
All right.
All right. Who's next?
I got it here.
Best for
All
last.
right, Cuzzy.
Now, I'm not going to. I like the teams that I have here. Like, I think these could be two of the top teams. The first team I have is the Birmingham Iron. And obviously, being in Alabama and the SEC country,
Hot
we're
bag.
talking about
You're gonna get some
super
good
good talent.
players.
So they're playing at UAB's field. Their GM is Joe Pendry, and he was the associate head coach under Nick Saban for a little bit. And
pretty
then their
cool.
head
So, yeah, he
coach,
might
which
be a
I
good
think
coach.
could be a little bit concerning, Tim Lewis. He was a first-round pick in 1983, fun fact. But he most recently was San Francisco 49ers DB coach. Some names that I think we're all going to know. Blake Sims is probably going to be their quarterback.
Started in the national championship
Yeah,
game.
2014 quarterback.
Okay, okay.
Also, our beloved Colts running back, Trent Richardson. plays
Sure.
for-
He's gonna
the
average
same.
2 yards a carry.
Oh, he's probably gonna be. He's probably gonna be the best
half
runner in
a
the league.
yard.
He's gonna be the best running back in the league.
He's gonna run into the back of his blockers.
He's gonna miss wide open holes to the left.
He's probably gonna be the MVP of the league. I mean, he's a Colt. He has to be, right?
Oh.
Ooh, shots fired.
And then, let's see. We also have Quan Bray. Does that name sound familiar?
He wasn't he a receiver?
Receiver for the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
receiver for the Colts. Who played
He'll
at
be the
Auburn.
MVP.
Yeah, one of them will be.
Played at Auburn.
Co-MVPs.
So, and then Nick Novak.
Yeah.
Their kicker.
Yeah.
Really good kicker in the NFL, too. So that's definitely something. But these teams are pulling from Alabama, Auburn, interesting enough, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUP. NC State, Mississippi State.
So just small schools.
Yeah, but really, you still have Auburn and Alabama in there. So
Yeah, just small schools.
yeah, you know,
Just the small schools.
just a small.
Just small schools?
But yeah, I
Nothing
think
but
this is
small
a really
Just-
good team, especially with
just small
quarterback Blake Sims if he can put it together. And
we'll
then,
see.
yeah, anybody got anything to add on them?
It's pretty cool.
Their wide receivers
Both Colts
coach,
players would be co-MVPs.
Alex Mortensen, son of Chris Mortensen.
Oh wow!
So
Really?
maybe a little bit of football knowledge in that family.
Just a little bit.
Can someone enlighten me on Tim Lewis? Do we know the
I
story
mean,
behind Tim Lewis? I honestly,
basically-
I don't recognize the name.
yeah,
so-
honestly, well-traveled assistant coach through
Okay.
the NFL, coordinator spots. But like I said, he was 2015. He's the DB coach at San Fran.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was one of my main concerns. Like you see Spurrier, and I'll get to the next team's head coach here in a minute. But I think up front or with the coaches and GMs, I think you could.
He
Not-
was
Not solid.
Lewis was the defensive coordinator for the Giants in 04 to 06, and the Steelers defensive coordinator from 2000 to 2003. So pretty good.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, I love this.
All right.
I love this.
So, going on. I think this is my favorite team right here. This is my team to win it. This is the team I'm pledging my allegiance to. Got
Okay.
Family ties here.
And the team I might go watch.
Memphis Express here, okay?
You're
I
Express
like
fan.
I like that name.
Coach, Mike Singletary.
Oop, I may be changing teams.
Yep. Huge. They're going to play some defense. So then we have Will Lewis, who served as an executive on the Seahawks around 2012,
Yep.
2010 to 2012 as a GM. So obviously he knows how to build the team. Couple good quarterbacks, like really good quarterbacks on this team.
Yeah.
Christian
Yes.
Hackenberg,
Yep.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Penn State.
Well, former Penn State,
Really,
yeah.
Like coming out of college was supposed to be coming
One
into
of the
college,
best.
Really
Yeah.
supposed to have a high ceiling, and just didn't work out because he played for the Jets during his terrible years. But
Yeah, Jets are
also
horrible.
Zach Mettenberger made some NFL starts.
Heard that name too.
Yeah,
Do we have
LSU.
a quarterback battle already?
We, you know what?
Or are they going to go to a two quarterback system?
Ooh, I like.
A lot of
I'm a fan of
controversy
quarterback.
already.
I'm a fan of quarterback battles.
Well, that was,
That's
see, it's funny because they're both great, but they had so different stories. Because I remember Hackenberg, growing up, he was number one overall recruit in the country.
he's huge.
Goes to Penn State, doesn't really do a lot. He left and Penn State started winning. And then you've got Zach Mettenberger. He, correct me if I'm wrong, but he took over for Jamarcus Russell, right? Like he's older, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
He's older. I believe he came in after Jamarcus Russell and took over after him. So had to kind of carry that national championship weight on his shoulders. So we have two little different stories there. We'll see who's withstood the test of time.
Yeah. So at receiver, you have Chris Givens, who was a former fourth round pick out of Wake Forest. Had obviously none of these guys had. He had a pretty good NFL career. Like, not anything special, but a pretty average player. Then at running back, you have Zach Stacy. He had over 1,000 yards rushing in the NFL.
Bandy, right?
Who did he play for?
Bandy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who do you play for in the NFL?
I actually did not know that.
Zach Stacy.
But also, I think this team has a pretty solid front seven. I think you saw where Mike Singletary wanted to go. Julius Wormsey and then John Maxey both had some times with Tennessee. So they definitely, I think they're going to have a pretty solid front.
We got a couple more close to heart names on this list.
Yeah, speaking of that, they're drawing from the Bengals, the Colts, the Saints, and the Titans. So, Jake, you might as well hop on board because we know
Yeah,
you're
no
a big
kidding.
Colts
But
guy.
we've got Reese Horn,
Yeah,
wide receiver
Reese
from
Horn.
University of Indianapolis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he went to UIndy. Reese Horn went to UIndy.
Yes, he did.
That's
Yeah.
what Sam
That's
just
what-
said.
And
Hence
then-
University of
For some
Indianapolis.
reason, I thought you said
Same
Indiana
thing.
University.
Wow.
And then we also have Brandon Neal,
Yep.
DB from Thomas More.
Yeah.
They're on our schedule.
They pull from Tennessee. Go Vols.
They do. I knew. I was like,
Go
this
Vols.
is. I said, I was getting ready to say, Caleb, go on and tell us why it's your favorite team.
Well, I have a couple family members that live in Memphis, big Memphis guys,
Yeah.
but they pull from the University.
They pull
of
from the
Tennessee.
Vols.
Yep. Go
I'm
Vols.
also-
Number one ranked basketball team.
Go Vols, baby.
I'm really interested to see their offense because it doesn't have a listed offensive coordinator here.
Yeah, I
I'm
did notice
assuming
that.
it'll be their quarterbacks coach.
I had a big issue
Peyton
trying to
Manning
find
will
that
do
too.
it.
Yeah, so yeah, they're going to have a pretty good defense, but are they going to be able to put up some points? And that's what.
Hey, Zach Mettenberger and
just
Chris-
No, I'm not
I think
saying they
those are
can't.
two of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Let them call the plays.
I like it. That would be
Let
good.
the quarterbacks do it.
You know,
That'd be.
I mean, that's basically what Peyton Manning did when he was in
draw
the
it
league.
dirt.
I like it.
I want to be the little piece of
Hey,
You
grass.
can't
I
really
would-
draw it in the dirt. You only got 30 seconds.
It's true.
You got a lot
Draw
less
it in
time.
the dirt.
Call
Yeah,
timeouts.
that's fair.
I'm still with the Legends.
I
The
was
Memphis team. I was like, hey, I'm still with my
So
Atlanta Legends.
after, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
After this recap, I'm thinking, who's going to be in the championship?
Memphis.
Now that you
Who are
told
they
me
gonna
that they
play?
pull from the Colts, I think I'm changing my allegiance to be a Memphis Express fan.
I've got a Memphis San Antonio final.
I think after going through this,
I like that.
The Eastern Conference seems to be a little tougher.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd have to agree.
I
they'd be
agree.
the favorites, but I would say
It's gonna be tough.
I like Birmingham
Yeah.
and San Antonio.
See, I like Memphis and Birmingham as my two favorites in the East. I think those are my two go-to 1-2s in the East.
Yep.
representing-
Orlando,
Yep.
San Antonio.
I think, like I said, I'm going to put my allegiance to San Antonio because I've got some self-interest in there.
Yeah.
I think Arizona could give them a run for the money. They've got some good guys on there. Guys I didn't mention was like Scooby Wright, linebacker out of Arizona. He was a lot of fun to watch. And obviously, I think Trevor Knight might be the most dynamic guy in the league. Trevor
Yeah,
Knight
it's-
is a
it's-
baller.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the conferences shake out because the Eastern one's gonna be really competitive, but the Western might just be a
Yeah.
Think
Average.
crapshoot.
Average.
Hey,
Yeah.
you never know. First
true,
year, who knows?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's a good
is
point.
In
We haven't
terms
seen it.
in terms of winning, we look at things that like an MVP. It could be a guy who we don't know from Adam. We could see guys like Mettenberger, Hackenberg,
Struggle.
Whoever. We could see them struggle. We could see guys who we don't remember at all who've been just grinding for the past few years.
And
they
that's
come
the beauty
out
of the
finally get a
league.
chance.
Exactly.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
All new.
You're right.
That's the beauty of the AAF.
I think there are gonna be some guys that we have no idea who they are that just ball out.
And that'll give them
And we
exposure,
will.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we
it's
know
gonna
that.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the West, I think my two teams are Arizona. And dude, I think the second team's a toss-up. There's not
San
one.
Antonio.
You
San
think San
Antonio?
Antonio?
Go Commanders, baby. Come
Okay,
on.
I'll hop on. Those are my.
Hop on the train.
That's my early picks then.
I like
Choo
that.
choo, hop on the Memphis Express.
Yeah, I'll go San Antonio with Logan Woodside at the quarterback position. I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty
Yeah.
solid.
I don't know. I'm saying I'm pledging my allegiance, but thinking geographically, we're talking Memphis. Caleb's got some ties.
We could go to a Memphis
We
game.
found out tickets are $20 to the Liberty Bowl.
Hey, my sister's a
Hey.
event coordinator down there. Probably could get us tickets
Dude,
for free.
The Liberty Bowl is
You
sick.
can sign
The
up.
Hold
Liberty-
on.
the Liberty
Fun fact.
Bowl-
Yeah, what did you get? Press
Fun
passes.
fact about tickets: each team will have a $35 game sideline seat option. So $35.
Got to go for it.
Game sideline seat. What's
That's
that
what
mean?
this says. Game sideline seat option. Like I'm thinking like you could sit right
Sit right on the sideline.
and inexpensive food.
What about the?
So you're not going to pay
So are they
$12 for a hot dog.
Are they gonna do similar to what that team up north does? You can sit. They got everything.
So you can
roped
just
off.
heckle people.
You can just sit over there
So-
on the field.
What about the beer?
Heckle some people.
The beer, you have to be 21 to drink beer.
Well, yeah.
What's your question about beer?
Well,
The
good thing we're all
prices.
21 here.
Yeah.
Tell me about the beer.
Yeah.
There's nothing on here about the beer.
Well, the
That's
food's
a shame.
if the food's inexpensive, I want the beer to be inexpensive as well.
I imagine there will be beer there.
I
Good.
imagine it'll be inexpensive if they go off the Atlanta Falcons idea
Yeah,
of inexpensive everything.
True. Sam, huge news here. March 24th, 2019. Birmingham Iron. Oh, I was thinking San Antonio. It's at the Alamo Dome. Never mind.
I mean, we could make a road trip out of it.
It's okay.
Yes,
Short
we
drive.
could.
But big game. Birmingham Iron at Memphis. The 24th of March. So
It's a big deal.
So we have all this research that we've done on the AAF. How popular do you think the AAF is going to be?
I think it'll be huge
Do you think it'll be better
this
than
year because it's new.
Here's
It's football.
what separates it. It's in a time where there's no football.
Mm-hmm.
NFL has college football, which, different days, but still, there's always football on. There's nobody to compete with. Are you going to watch football if you can watch football?
I'm going to watch football all the time.
Exactly. It's a good time. Nothing else going on this spring. Football.
Okay.
I think this is going to be big for those people who don't like the NFL as much as they like college football. And here's why. Because there's a lot of names on here specifically from, like I said, I'm a Cincinnati guy through and through. There's a lot of names that I grew up watching of guys who I've cried watching the TV because they won Big East Conference championships. Adrian Robinson, Jeff Luck, Nikhil McKay, Nick Temple. They're all Cincinnati guys who I loved watching play football.
Yep.
And I'm going to want to watch because I'm like, these guys are playing football again. These are guys I grew up loving to watch play football. And there's a lot of these guys from these smaller schools where fans are going to have similar approaches. They're going to be like, oh, he was really good for us, but he wasn't good enough to get in the NFL. I get to watch him play again. This is for fans. It's going to be their second chance. Like, oh, I missed this guy. I want to watch you play football. And I think guys are going to eat it up.
I think having the geographically located rosters will help people in that area
Get recognized.
exactly and want to watch.
And not only that, it also helps like the people in that area go watch the games because now they have a tie for the game.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
question:
Answers.
do you have to go to college to be in this league?
I was thinking that too.
Is
I
this
did
something
see-
that dethrones the NCAA in terms of I'm just going to go get paid straight out?
Kind of like LeVar Ball's.
Exactly.
But they never
But
got
a little
paid.
bit more legit.
Yeah, they never got paid. Fun fact.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Because you might see, because they're like we said, they're D3 guys.
You only
that
have
are
to
in
be
there.
you have to be three
I think-
years removed from college to put yourself in the NFL draft.
I think since it is a professional sort of football, I think they would stick with the NCAA rule that you'd have to do
Yes.
a certain amount of time.
I agree, and I think a topic coming down later in the show, we can touch on the no NCAA rule.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Do you want to touch on it now?
You brought up the XFL.
Yeah, so like we know the AAF will be popular. I mean, the XFL started off very popular. Do you think it would have a decline like the XFL did, or do you think this has a chance to be better than the
I think
XFL?
better because the time it's being played. Also, they got the head start on the XFL that's coming back.
2020.
Yes, so they're a year ahead already. But does the XFL, to make their name made, allow, people coming out of high school, skipping that college, and just going to play? Is that how they become popular?
I don't know. I haven't done any research
I mean,
on
the
that.
XFL is basically just football with like a wrestling mentality.
And that's what I was going to
It's
say.
electrifying.
I think the first time the XFL came around, I think Vince McMahon looked at himself as a rival of the NFL.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
now
he
we
did.
have the AAF, who's really like, we want to be a feeder system. We want to help grow football, because I think we can all agree there has been a bit here in America, a bit of a war on football in the past with the concussions, with just
Player
the way
safety.
society is, player safety, stuff like that. It is a big deal, I think, but I think the biggest difference is, like I said, the XFL kind of viewed themselves, they were a villain. They viewed themselves as a rival of the NFL, and they challenged one of the biggest businesses in America.
And you will
can't,
not win.
I mean, the
You will
NFL
not-
is
I don't
huge.
think it's not going anywhere. But Tanner, you
Got a
guys
fun
hope?
fact for you, for all you guys.
I bet I know.
Love fun facts.
Do you know the sport with the most concussions in it?
Women's soccer.
Women's soccer.
Women's soccer.
What?
Aren't you 2.5
lot of
times more
headers.
likely to get a concussion in women's soccer than
Headshot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I just jotted my
hey,
memory.
people don't like to hear it, but
Another thing with the XFL, I think that's also the XFL took on a persona of their owner, like Jim McMahon or
Vince.
Vince.
McMahon, sorry, was definitely all about kind of being that rival. And I think having guys that came from the NFL, like Bill Polian and Justin Tuck, they're not worried about trying to dethrone the NFL. They're
They
worried
put their
about-
No, they know they
Yeah.
can't.
They want to help the NFL.
Absolutely. They're not. I don't think they're concerned about the NFL as much as they want to. They just want to see these guys play
Yeah.
good football. I think Vince McMahon saw and still sees now. Oh, some people have an issue with football because there's some prima donnas out there in the league. There's some guys who they don't like that you can't smack people with the top of your helmet anymore, even though it puts
the hardest
yourself
part
and
of your
others
body.
at risk.
Yeah, the top of the head, right?
Yeah.
But either way, like I said, it's just I don't, these guys devoted a lot of themselves to the NFL, and it's just they understand how much work it is, and they're going to continue to support it. I think it's just going to set them apart.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to dethrone the NFL by any means by allowing the feeder system, by allowing them, the other players, to go to the league when they get a contract.
Mm-hmm.
They're not stopping them. They're not saying, no, that's our guy. They're allowing the NFL.
only helps them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's more
'Cause they're
working
getting more
together.
guys.
They're not competing against them
Absolutely.
anytime. They're playing outside the time frame the NFL is. they're working with them.
It's like the JUCOs. The JUCOs want the big guys to come there so they get a name, just like Last Chance U.
You know, one question I have that I'm not sure if you found or not, and I haven't seen, is there going to be a draft next year? I mean, obviously we had the inaugural, we had the quarterback draft, and we did the geographical thing. Is it going to continue to be geographical?
I didn't see anything about like it happening. I guess they're like really basing it on how well it does in its inaugural
I think it'll
year.
just be something we have to look forward to. You know, it'll be interesting to see if they do make it like a supplemental draft. Like if you slip through the filter of the NFL, you know, we'll go again. But yeah.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
What's that?
Success and a possible expansion.
Ooh.
Gotta mention that.
You got 8 teams.
That might be interesting.
Bump
Do
the-
they,
Well,
if
and
they
you
get,
look-
if they get some smaller markets that can pull
Yeah.
from an
St. Louis
area,
gets a football team again?
I mean,
Absolutely.
they could
San
they
Diego?
could really
They already
Already got one.
expand.
Okay. Yeah.
I
mean,
think, but I think it would be cool. But then we talk about how it's almost like a G League. The G League just in the past couple of years finally went 1-to-1, where every team has a G League team.
Yeah.
So could be a long process. You never know.
I don't think they'd ever get to that. Just for the fact that they want to play in that gap space of no NFL time.
Yeah, and you know, and we never know. It's amazing to see what can happen. You know, if they have a successful first year, you know, down the road we could see them partner with the NFL if they get enough teams. Maybe this is just we make
Expanding.
the practice squads are bigger, and it's just practice squads playing against each other in the spring. How cool would that be?
That would be really cool.
You never know, but we'll you know, it's just.
I guess it's
just gotta
something
get it
we all have
started.
to look forward to.
We're
Yes,
all
sir.
pretty excited.
All right, boys. You got anything else to say?
I think we're good to go.
Go Commanders!
I mean, I think
Go. Choo Choo Express.
Go
I'm a
Legends.
huge AAF guy now.
Big AAF. We're all this AAF
What
podcast.
We need to get some.
AAF podcast.
I need to get some AAF gear. Now.
Yeah, you can buy
Absolutely.
gear. Yeah, they have a shop. You go to AAF.com.
Absolutely.
Click on shop.
Don't
No
plug
free
their
ads.
merch.
We're gonna be
plug
playing
it
that
us.
trip here soon.
What'd you say?
I'll get to us. I'll get to us.
I'm telling you, pretty soon, MTC, we're going to be making a trip. We're going to be,
Yes.
some of us, we're going to be down there in Memphis.
Well,
enjoying
I
a
want to
cool
go to the
game.
Memphis game. I think
Well,
that's something we
okay,
should go to
Memphis.
because I have right here a possible game to go to, and we're going to the Memphis game. We have to.
Yeah.
We should go
This
to-
is something
should
that
go
we
to
need to
both-
do.
We should go to the Iron game and the Apollos game against Memphis. I think both of those games would be really good.
We can sleep on the Legends. That's all right. It's fine.
I guess we'll see.
Anything else?
Pretty cool.
Good.
All right, follow us on Twitter at M_T_C_18, on the Instagram at Moving the Chains with 2 S's. Follow us online at movingthechain.com. Anything else, boys?
Yeah, our merch. Buy it. Please.
Buy the merch, DM us, use promo code MTC to get 10% off. And then we'll see you guys next week. We're going to hit it with the outro.
Let's get ready to rumble!
We're about to cut up now.
Move the chains. First down. Do my dance and got me a touchdown. Move the chains. First down.
We're about to cut up now.
Move the chains. First down. Do my dance and got me a touchdown. Move the chains. First down.
We're about to cut up now.